you sure you're free? What else would I be doing?
Hey there guys, this is Jeff 101 Bronson bringing you the next update for the month of July 2023. Yeah, 2023. Yeah, some DVDs, Blu Rays, one 4K sort of a little bit of a collector's edition. Not necessarily of a movie, but you guys are going to see what that is in a minute. Well, I guess in a couple of minutes, because I always cover the 4Ks last. So first we're going to go with DVDs, Blu Rays, and then of course the 4K pickup. Yeah, picked up one Pacino upgrade to further add to that collection. Picked up 2 or 3 films for my Robert De Niro collection. Been building up a new collection of a person I have seen work of in the past, but never really picked up a lot of her work. I'm gonna spoil you the gender. But no, it's a certain person who was really great with this sort of B or C category of action films and 90s straight to video films. I think a lot of you guys will know who I'm talking about already. But you know, now it's the month of August. I'm gonna show you the stack for July. I'm gonna build my collection for August again. Some Pacino films coming up in August, of course, the reviews. This film is going to be reviewed in August, and I've actually just seen this. Again, this is August 2nd today. I've seen Scarface on the big screen on July 31st, and it was an amazing experience. I did wear this shirt when I went to see it in the cinema. Yeah, I finally saw Tony Montana on the big screen. And of course that review is going to come up later this month, but we're not here to talk about the reviews and stuff. I'm just giving you guys a little update on me, but let's go to the meat of this video. The thing that you all want to see is the update of physical media pickups, and here we go. Alright, here we go, starting off with, as usual, DVDs. We picked up quite a few DVDs. As you guys know, for me it doesn't really matter DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, as long as, you know, the movie's always the thing that comes first. Of course, with the favorite movies, always prefer seeing it in the best quality, but it's always the movie itself first. But anyway, picked up a Robert De Niro film, which was really unknown to me. I bet it's going to be unknown to a lot of you guys. Jackknife from, I guess, 87, 88, might be even 89 now that I think about it. Dutch DVD right here. It's a film about Vietnam veterans, post-Vietnam War. De Niro, Ed Harris, and Kathy Baker. Actually, not a bad film, this one here on DVD. Not a bad film. Quite an unknown one. I mean, don't expect, you know, De Niro to do the Deer Hunter again with this film. It's not like the Deer Hunter, it's different. But still, pretty good film. I actually remember seeing this on some of the Dutch websites. I think there's even a Dutch release that pairs this on the double bill with the Deer Hunter, which will add even more people thinking, you know, it's Deer Hunter-esque. But, you know, aside from the fact it's dealing with a veteran post-Vietnam, which, of course, the back half of Deer Hunter was pretty much that. You know, that's where the similarities end. It's a different sort of story. Similar themes, I would say, but yeah, quite a good watch. I recommend it for people that haven't seen it, if you can get your hands on it. Next couple of DVDs I picked up, started actually finally sort of building my Cynthia Rothrock collection. I've always, you know, I've seen a couple of movies of her in the past, never really took a deep dive into her films. Of course, a couple of months ago, my good buddy Gareth videotaped. He did a fantastic interview with Cynthia Rothrock, and ever since then, I've actually been inspired to watch a couple more of her films and actually track down a couple. No surprise, a lot of these, well, actually all of these,
are German editions. Germany has a lot of her films on DVD and Blu-ray, so that's where I was able to purchase a couple of them. And first up is this DVD for American Tigers, which is directed by David Worth. Of course, it does feature Cynthia here on the cover, along with the guy from Bloodsport, Donald Gibb, and also Sam Jones, you know, Flash Gordon, and one of the Gracie brothers or cousins, or what is it? Yeah, this is sort of a Dirty Dozen ripoff, very cheap. I wouldn't even call this a B movie. This would be like a C or D movie, to be honest. Cynthia's in it for like 5 minutes and then she fucks off. Yeah, David Worth, director of Kickboxer, and he also directed, I should say. He directed 2 other films with Cynthia, one of which we're going to be covering shortly. Yeah, not a good film, this one. Slightly disappointing, this one, even though Cynthia scenes... Honestly, Cynthia scenes are the highlight of this film, because the rest of it is really not that good. I was expecting a bit more from this one. But yeah, I think that also goes by a different title, but that's the title here on the German DVDs, American Tigers. I'm pretty sure it has an alternate title or two, as most of Cynthia's films have, by the way. Like this one here, German DVD. Now this is known as Beyond Justice in Germany. I think pretty much in the other, some other parts in the world, the English-speaking parts of the world, this is known as Guardian Angel, in which Cynthia Rothrock plays a former cop who retires, and she goes to work as a bodyguard for this rich guy. You know what? Yeah, this was an enjoyable one. I did enjoy this one a lot. I definitely enjoyed it better than American Tigers. Actually, a Cynthia Rothrock starring vehicle, this one. So yeah. Next up, again, this is directed by David Worth, who did American Tigers. This is a much better film, in my opinion. The first, Lady Dragon, they did do a sequel of this. Well, actually, it's an unofficial sequel. They did a film, and they did a film, and it just got titled Lady Dragon 2. But yeah, actually, this one not too bad. You know, she's a CIA agent in Thailand. I think this film is set. There's some fight scenes. You know, her husband, I think she was killed. It's a revenge film. All the good stuff. You know, it's a good fun 90 minutes, if that. I don't think it was even 90 minutes, if I can remember correctly. It's oh yeah, this 93 minutes is what the DVD there says. It's a fun time waster. It's I had fun with that one. Now I have this is the last of the DVDs. This is one of our Hong Kong films, Prince of the Sun, with Conan Lee. Now I'm not too familiar with Hong Kong movie making, not too familiar with Hong Kong cinema, besides, you know, John Woo and, you know, early Bruce Lee. Not seen too much Hong Kong films, I'm ashamed to admit. I do want to see some more, but as you will see with the next one, this is one of 2 of her Hong Kong films I've picked up this month. And actually, I prefer her American work to the Hong Kong. I know this, for a lot of people, this is sacrilege, because a lot of people swear by Cynthia's Hong Kong films. But this one here, which is sort of like a cheap rip-off of The Golden Child, with some funny and dodgy effects. And I have to say, one thing I do like with the Hong Kong films here that I've seen, the fight scenes, as I'm used to by what I've seen of Asian cinema, the fight scenes are amazing and top-notch. Great stunt work and this and that. I'm not taking that away from it. But with the story and with the acting, and it could have been better. And just like with American Tigers, Cynthia is front and center on the cover, and actually I think they sort of photoshopped her to make her more bulkier, because she's not this bulky in the film. But even though being, you know, front and center of all, you know, even here on the back, she's in it for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. So I was disappointed by the lack of Cynthia in this film, which is, again, I could say that for this one here. We're moving on to Blu-rays now, even though this is a media book featuring Blu-ray and DVD. But I saw this in the local physical media store in Germany, which is about 10 minutes from me. I live in the Netherlands. It's right at the border. You know, just across the border is the store where I go to, always in Germany. I saw this obviously in the in the store, in the shop, and I was like, how can I refuse this cover? And now the Germans here have Top Squad. I think another title for this film is The Inspector Wears Shorts, this is another Hong Kong film, as you can see by a lot of these Chinese letters here. Actually produced by Jackie Chan, this film. And Jackie Chan's stunt people worked on this film, and fight scenes and stunts on this film is all top notch. But again, you know, they sell me this cover, but Cynthia's only in it for like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and I think that would be stretching it. She's there in the beginning, and she's there in the end. Like the whole middle section is without her. I did enjoy this film somewhat, don't get me wrong. I will show you a little bit of the media book. I did enjoy the film, but again, I was disappointed by the lack of Cynthia in this, obviously, as she is front and center of the promotion of the, you know, of the cover and stuff, and the promotional material. Yeah, this is a Golden Harvest film. Yeah, you know, like I said, it's not bad. It's not bad, but I do prefer the American films that I've seen here, that I've picked up here and for the collection. And we do have 2 more on Blu Ray, so let's move on to that. And arguably one of her more known efforts, Martial Law, with Chad McQueen and Cynthia Rothrock and David Carradine as the villain. German Blu Ray right here. Yeah, enjoyable action martial arts film from the early 90s, you know, sort of straight to video film. I liked it. However, I prefer the sequel here, which they replaced Chad McQueen with Jeff Wincott, and they got Billy Drago in there as well. And yeah, Cynthia's back. Martial Law 2 Undercover. Cynthia has some good fight scenes in both films. I think she shines more with the fight scenes in the first film than she does here. I think the spotlight is taken away from her a little bit in the second one, and it's placed more on Jeff Wincott, where she had a little bit more spotlight in the first one, I feel. But overall, I really enjoyed the 2 martial law films. Great to see them on Blu-ray. And now we move on to some more Robert De Niro. I picked up 2 of his films on Blu-ray as well. 2 films from the 2010s. This one is from 2013, one of his comedy films, The Big Wedding, a big ensemble. A cast in this one: Katherine Heigl, Diane Keaton, Amanda Seyfried, Susan Sarandon, Robin Williams, Topher Grace. Big ensemble cast. And you know what? It's an okay film. It's not one of De Niro's best films by stretch. It's not even one of his best comedies. But I still had some enjoyment with this film. Next up is Stone. I think this is from 2010, 2011. Can't remember exactly right now, but De Niro, Edward Norton, and Mila, I always pronounce this wrong, Jovovich, yeah. Sorry, Mila, it's difficult for me to pronounce. An okay sort of thriller, I guess, is what this film would be classed as a genre. I do like this cool little steelbook here. This was actually quite a cheap edition to get. As a me, or does De Niro here in this picture look like he does in The Irishman? I don't know, it sort of looks like, you know, CGI'd a little bit, like he is, of course, in The Irishman. It sort of reminds me. Anyway, yeah, it's not a bad film. It's again, it's an okay effort. It's not the best De Niro film, but I actually liked it a lot all the way through, but then the ending was sort of disappointing to me. I felt like there wasn't too much of a big sort of wrap-up. I felt it could have been wrapped up a bit better, but overall it was a decent film. And then moving on from one acting icon to the other. Of course, I'm doing a big spotlight on this acting icon as I'm doing my review series on Mr. Alfredo James Pacino, or as we know him, Al fucking Pacino. This is his first film. I've upgraded this to Blu-ray. I had the DVD for years, and I finally was able to get this on Blu-ray here. The Panic Needle Park. I did a review on this film. Pacino and Kitty Wynn, directed by Jerry Schatzberg. Damn it, that was hard to pronounce for some reason. Yeah, some great special features. Never seen these special features, so I checked them out. They were great. Just wish I had the chance to watch this before I did the review, but anyway, there's the Panic Needle Park. Another upgrade to my Pacino collection. And here's another upgrade to my Arnold Schwarzenegger collection. When I picked up that Cynthia Rothrock film in the physical media shop, I picked up this along with it. I saw this there. I was like, you know what, I have the first Conan film on Blu-ray. I don't have the second one. This is the second one, Conan the Destroyer on Blu-ray. But yeah, Conan the Destroyer. I do like the artwork on this a lot. I mean, it's a little dark right now. It's a very dark day. I don't know if I can sort of show this, but as you can see outside the window, it's a very gray, rainy, windy day. I'm trying to make the best of it as I can here. Not my favorite of the Conan films. I do prefer the first one, the original, Conan the Barbarian. But this certainly is an entertaining film. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, this film. Absolutely. Next up, I did a sort of big Canon film spotlight video earlier this month, which wasn't planned. That happened as I picked up a little stack of Canon films. I was watching them in the weekend, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a Canon film spotlight video, simply because I was really enjoying watching the Canon films. I watched a couple of the other ones that I already had as well. So I'm going to show you what I picked up for the Canon collection. All besides this one were featured in that video. So, wait, actually I think there's another one that wasn't featured in that video, which was also a new pickup. But this is Barfly with Mickey Rourke and Faye Dunaway, one of Canon's better efforts. Also, I didn't know this, but involvement with Francis Ford Coppola for this film, which was news to me. And Frank Stallone played a part in this film. Actually, I did watch this last night, just in time for me to do this this update video. You know what? Really good film. I hadn't seen this one before. This was my first time watching it, and I'm really glad I picked it up. I'm really glad I watched it, because it was a really... it's not going to be a film I'm going to revisit time and time again, because there are some sort of... you know, dark. It's a very sort of dark film, gritty, you know, sort of a little depressing, a little bit about alcoholics and so, but really great performances by actually everybody involved, including Frank Stallone, believe it or not. I thought this was a very well directed film, very well acted film. Faye Dunaway, she was absolutely amazing in this. This might be one of her best performances I've seen. And I mean, she was in Chinatown for you know, for F's sakes. You know, she was great in that. And I think she might be even better in Barfly. Anyway, let's move on to films that Canon is better known for. Some trashy action film. Avenging Force, which the Germans call Night Hunter. Michael Dudikoff, you know, in a Sam Furstenberg film with Steve James in it as well. This was a very good film. This is probably one of the better Canon films. Probably one of the better Michael Dudikoff Canon films, this one. Maybe a little controversial, but I might actually prefer this to American Ninja, and I do like the American Ninja films, don't get me wrong. But I really enjoyed Avenging Force. And here's another Michael Dudikoff film, River of Death. I did show this just like the last one in the Canon collection video, the spotlight video. Steve Carver directed this one, who was known for Lone Wolf McQuade. Among the cast is Robert Vaughn and Donald Pleasance. Sort of an Indiana Jones, a little bit of a rip-off, you know, adventure film with Nazis and stuff. It's really good. I enjoyed it. Definitely recommend that for Cannon fans. And yeah, this is another sort of typical Cannon film. I mean, obviously, they did the Missing in Action films, and here they got David Carradine and POW, also known as Behind Enemy Lines. This is pretty much a sort of another, let's go to Vietnam, and another Vietnam War film, action film of the 80s, Rambo, Missing in Action. Add this one right to the list. I mean, this was a really good film. This was a really good film. Really good B movie. Really good action scenes. Cheaply made, of course. I think this was probably shot in a couple of weeks. Probably shot this in like the Philippines or whatever. But really good. I enjoy it. And this here, again, I showed this in my in the Canon video, the Alan Quatermain films. I'm not gonna pull it out and show because I did that in the video, but that's coming with a booklet and some special features, and also the documentary Electric Boogaloo is here as a bonus disc. These two films really were the reason why I did the Canon Spotlight video, because these were the films I watched just before I did that. You got the lovely Sharon Stone and Richard Chamberlain, and this is, clearly a Indiana Jones ripoff. Yes, I know it's based on a book that was written 100 years before this film came out, way before Indiana Jones, but they obviously made it to cash in on Indiana Jones. I'm not saying Quatermain is Indiana Jones ripoff, but the intent of Canon making this is definitely, let's cash in on Indiana Jones. I mean, there's no denying that. So yeah, there you go. The two Quatermain films, which are King Solomon's Mines and Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold. And last up, this is, I put this under the 4Ks because this is a special sort of edition. Ennio Morricone. This is the documentary Ennio on 4K, and it's a sort of special edition by Play On Pictures, formerly known as Koch Media. I am gonna open this and show this a little bit. It comes with a cool big booklet. Let's take a look at that first. Not all the way, obviously the text is in German, but there's some cool pictures here of the maestro and his films. His Oscar win for The Hateful Eight. Yeah, some of his albums and singles and stuff like that. A lot of information. I haven't read this all the way. Yeah, The Hateful Eight. Of course, he worked on that. He won his Oscar for that. He did also work on Django Unchained. Here he is with Clint, the legend. I don't know if this is obviously it's a printed signature. I don't know where this signature came from, but yeah, it's giallos that he worked on with Dario Argento, Four Flies of Grey Velvet and stuff. Stenhouse Syndrome, I haven't seen that one actually. Yeah, some cool stuff in here. Obviously known as other westerns. Yeah. Once Upon a Time in America, let's not forget this great film, Once Upon a Time in America. The Big Gun Down with Lee Van Cleef. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in there. Too much to sort of go into right now. And then you have a sort of cool, if I can get this out. There we go. And here's the J card that was on the back. Obviously, it's still there, but yeah. Anyway, here's the digipack. You got the 4K disc of the documentary and the Maestro. You got that on Blu Ray as well. You also have a CD. Oh wait, no, this is the Blu Ray disc of a concert performance by Morricone and his orchestra. From 2004, if I'm not mistaken. I think a lot of this is on YouTube, but it's great to have this on disc. He plays all of his sort of great hits. And you have a CD compilation album here as well of a lot of his great tracks. And yeah, that's a cool sort of digipack. Right there. I don't know. I think these are some of his collaborators. I'm guessing. But yeah, that's Ennio right there. Ennio the documentary, and I think actually the CD track list was here as well somewhere. I had to spend about 2 minutes getting out the J card that was on the back, and here's the actual track list of the tracks that are on the CD that you get with the digipack there. So you got a lot of stuff from the Dollars trilogy. You got Once Upon a Time in America. Everything is on here. So yeah, Ennio Morricone, celebrating him, honoring him with this great digipack release of the documentary and some great bonus material, and the concert video. It's really excellent stuff, and there it is right there. There's the back and spine. Yeah, some of the people that collaborate in the documentary: Tarantino, Clint Eastwood, Hans Zimmer, Bruce Springsteen. You got Bono. You got from Metallica and stuff. You got them participating in the documentary. It's a very extensive documentary. I think it's like over 2 hours. It covers a lot. It covers a lot of his films, some very obscure ones as well. It's definitely worth getting. It's been released in a lot of formats: 4K, Blu Ray. This here is a special collector sort of edition. My favorite movie composer is Ennio Morricone. So when I saw this again in the physical media shop in Germany, I picked this up firsthand. I was like, this is a no-brainer. I have to get this because I have seen that documentary before. I'd seen it on Amazon Prime, and I was like, if I ever come across it in the shop, a great physical edition, I'm gonna get it. Well, I didn't have to wait long because I found this here. So yeah, there you go. That was a 4K for this month, and those are all the movie and the physical disc pickups. There you go.
So there you guys have it. That was the physical media pickup for the month of July 2023. I did forget to show that I also picked up another action figure. I'm just going to quickly pop this here at the end. Picked up this Rambo First Blood action figure produced by a company called Free Zero. Usually I show this the other way around, but this time I got the front facing camera, so I can show you like this. Let's get me out of the way. Let's make this about the figure a little bit here. As you can see, that's a really great sort of representation of Sly and First Blood. You even have the knife right there and the sheath, which I do have a replica of the real thing. But yeah, it's as you can see right there, yeah, there you go. I think this is coming up nicely in the detail department, I think. Anyway, yeah, picked up this figure. I missed out on pretty much all of the Stallone shop Rambo figures and the Cobra figure that they did. I missed out on Stallone shop figures, unfortunately, but I still had the chance to get this one, so I went for this one. Now Sly Stallone shop is doing a Rocky figure. It's going to be their next one. I think it's going to be hard for me to pass up on that one, but the main reason for the Stallone shop figures I've sort of passed on them is the pricing on them and sort of the thing that you get for the pricing. Now, it wasn't too bad with the Cobra one. I think the Cobra figure really, it had the price sort of more justified because you got a lot of accessories and some extra features with that figure. I mean, with their First Blood Rambo figure, you got the Rambo figure from the Rambo iteration from the beginning of the film, where he has the army jacket. You get the duffel bag, you get the knife, dog tags, but that's about it. And I was like, comparing it to other Rambo figures out there like this one, I mean, you get way more bang for your buck with this figure, in my opinion. You get, so many guns, the bullet belts. He also comes with the poncho that he wears throughout pretty much the entire middle section of the film. The poncho, sort of the tar thingy, and this
machine gun isn't sort of slinging over his shoulder too well as I wanted, but for me there was more justifiably, the price was more justified with this figure than it was with the Stallone Shop Rambo figure. Now if the Stallone Shop sort of did a cross between both, if they gave you the army jacket and they also gave you this outfit and they gave you the other outfit maybe with a different head sculpt, then I would have been all over that. But I just found this to be a better representation of Stallone in that film, and also you know, more iconic, because you know, when I think of First Blood, this is sort of the look, you know, from the end of the film. He has big huge M60 machine gun with the bullet belts all over him, strapped all around him. He actually came with another one because you can strap 2 around his waist, but I only opted to put 1 over him. I mean, this is the way he's sort of depicted on the poster of First Blood, for Christ's sake. So anyway, so slight little tangent there at the end, but there you guys have it anyway. That was the update for July 2023. I did get the action figure in there. Again, I should have gotten it in there when I did the other camera, and never mind. I got it in there. So anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed. Of course, I will see you in the next video as always. Next video will be another Pacino review. I think the next one up after this is I don't know if I'm gonna get this update up before I do the review of Cruising, which that is going to be the next one on the pipeline as I'm recording this. But this might be up before my Cruising review, or it might be after. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one regardless. And if it's after the Cruising review, the next video will be the Offer review, Pacino. And then, of course, we're going to do Tony Montana, my Tony, you know? Anyway, guys, keep punching as always. Keep watching great films. Stay safe and healthy. Keep doing on what you're doing, guys. Stay frosty. And have a good one. Take care. Hoo-wah!